sobering report shows hardening attitudes against media. This coming from the Associated Press. The distrust many Americans feel towards the news media, caught up like much of the nation's problems in the partisan divide, is only getting worse. That was the conclusion of a sobering study of attitudes towards the press conducted by the Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T, Knight Foundation in Gallup, and released just yesterday. Nearly half of all Americans describe the news media as very biased. The survey found, and John Sands, Director of Learning and Impact at the Knight Foundation, said, "That's a bad thing for democracy. Our concern is that when half of Americans have some sort of doubt about the veracity of the news they consume, it's going to be impossible for our democracy to function." The study was conducted before the scamdemic and before the Super George Floyd freakout. I can only imagine what it would be like now. 71% of fake conservatives have a very or somewhat unfavorable opinion of the news media, while 22% of fake progressives felt the same way. Those surveyed also didn't believe much in honest mistakes, while there were inaccuracies in articles, or when there were inaccuracies in articles, I should say. 54% of Americans believed reporters misrepresented the facts, while 28% said they were making up things in their entirety. You know, maybe like from the incubator baby story to just, and again, James, I thought about we could have done a back and forth of just reeling off all the things, known publicly, obviously, admittedly lies. Remember, Dateline NBC rigged a truck to explode, so it looked even more dramatic, and of course they lost big time in court, and in the public court. Knight and Gallup conducted a random sample of 20,046 American adults between November 8, 2019 and February 16, 2020, and of course the margin of error +1 - will include yet another PDF link for you, Perceived Accuracy and Bias in the News Media, a Gallup Knight Foundation survey. And James, this was news to you, I think, in really, really related news. Someone I'm not familiar with their name, Ariana Pekary, Pekary. She just posted to, of course, her own website, not on some Zuckerberg Gates platform, huh? Why I'm leaving MSNBC, this cancer stokes national division.
Interesting. Well, for people who are new to New World Next Week, you may not know, but we cover this story almost every year. I don't know if we did it last year, but pretty much every year of New World Next Week, there's around the fall, there's usually a media trust survey, and we generally cover it. And we have literally charted over the decade that we've been doing this, how trust in TV and newspapers has been declining and trust in internet, online independent information has been increasing. And here we go again. Yes, even fewer people are trusting what they see the talking head liars in the mainstream media saying, for good reason, as you point out, time after time after time. Hey, I mean, Nicholas Sandman just concluded a couple of his lawsuits. I don't think that's all of them, but at any rate has received some undisclosed sum for the fact that the media lied brazenly about that incident. If you need more on that, you can see my previous fake news awards where I did talk about that incident. But I mean, yeah, the examples are numerous, and I'm sure we could regale each other for hours about them. And yes, the public is noticing. This is 2 + 2 = 4 stuff. This is very, very basic, and it shouldn't be surprising, but it is still a hopeful thing, and we should keep that in mind. Yes, don't worry, you are not alone. Many, many, many people around you also see through the lies and understand them to be lies. That is a positive and hopeful thing. And as I say, we still need to continue pushing this information out and making people understand. I think probably the most important part of all of this is the social proof. You are not alone. There are other people who are questioning what's going on. You do not have to feel crazy or out there on a limb if you question anything. No, there's many, many, many people around you who are doing the same. So I think we all have to enact in our life creating the safe space, to use that terminology, for people to come out of the closet as conspiracy-minded. Oh, you don't trust everything that the mainstream media believes? Oh, what a crazy... oh, well, actually, I don't either. And then that can open up the space for those kinds of conversations. So, again, this is a hopeful thing, and it just shows, once again, there are more people out there that are questioning than the establishment will ever tell you, because the revolution will not be televised, it will not be YouTubed, it will not be on any mainstream controlled platform.